Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. Um, I'm not going to do a long intro because I've been putting this video off for a really long time. This is my fall declutter. I've got quite a few things here that either is old and should have been gone a long time ago that I no longer use at all, or some things that just no longer fit my vibe and my style that I've really sat on for a while to kind of contemplate and play with. And I've just finally made a decision about them. So let's move forward. And first things first is this perfume by Alexandria House Coke Zero. Hopefully you can see that label. The bottle is really nice. You can't see how little I've used of it. I actually bought this because one of my absolute all-time favorite perfume, Boys by Killian, obviously has been discontinued for many years, and this was supposed to be a dupe for it, and it is kind of it's okay, but it's close but no cigar. And at this point in my perfume usage and evolution, I would just rather either save up my coins and pay the money for the original thing, even if I have to pay a ridiculous price on eBay or another marketplace that sells discontinued perfumes, or just go without. Or if I'm blessed and highly favored and I get to go somewhere in the Middle East where I can have a perfume made and see if I can get even closer, I would absolutely love that, but that ain't in the cards right now. So this perfume, Coke Zero by Alexandria Fragrances, has to go. Next up is this One Size powder this is the ultimate setting powder in translucent. And it's actually a nice powder. The issue for me is, as a darker skinned person, this powder is not truly translucent. It actually lightens up my foundation, which that may work well for people who have foundations that they love, that's a little bit darker than they would like, and so they need something to lighten it up a little bit. Um, I don't buy foundations that are not a perfect skin match. I just, again, at this stage in my makeup evolution, for the amount of money that makeup costs, um, I'm not buying things that I have to babysit and make all these extra maneuvers and changes and do all this extraness to it. I just don't have it in me anymore. Um, so I actually do like this powder. I have it in my skin tone and I love it to death, especially in the summer. So again, this is not a bad powder. It's just not for me where I'm at in my makeup stage of life. Um, Next we're going to do concealer because I only have one, and that is this Best Skin Ever concealer by Sephora in the shade 35 in. Now, let me see. Yeah, can see this. It is definitely light on my hand and my face, which I kind of use it as a highlighting concealer, which I don't really do anymore. Um, so that's the other thing why I don't need this. But also, sis is dry, dry. Um, it is matte like no other. If you need a matte concealer because of where you live, because of your skin type, because of whatever, baby, this that girl. I know they did reformulate this, so maybe the new formulation isn't as dry, but definitely the old formulation um, is. And again, it's fall going into winter here. The air is drier. My skin is drier and just cannot take this. And I've had this for a while. I've had this for probably 8 or 9 months, maybe even longer. And so it's just time for it to go. Next up, let's see, face mask. So I was fortunate enough to take a trip to Korea And anybody who knows anything about K beauty and J beauty knows that face masks are all the rage. And again, at this stage of my makeup and skincare and perfume evolution, and I am very, very picky about sheet masks. One, because I don't always like how they feel on my face. They can be very slimy, very goopy, very wet, also very cold, and that don't feel good. So I'm gonna keep it a buck with y'all. I shouldn't have bought these. The Korean sellers in the stores can be a little aggressive, and they highly encourage you to shop, to buy. And it's very easy to get distracted and overwhelmed and just say yes because they're pushing things so hard. And you get a lot of freebies, which is also very enticing. But these masks ain't it for me. There's the pomegranate one. There's a couple of different kinds in here. I've given some away, but let's see, there's the snail mask that I do not enjoy. And then there's these collagen hydrogel masks. I also feel like these masks, for me, don't do a whole lot. I don't find them relaxing to use. And they add a little bit of moisture to the skin, but meh, so does face lotion. So for that reason, I have learned that face masks are not my bag, and I should probably stop buying them unless it's either a better quality or better texture that I can appreciate, or if they're addressing specific skin issues that I have. Next up is blush. Let's see what we got here. We got, I hope y'all can see this. Yes. Okay. Hold on, y'all. Okay. So next up is blush. And first two we have is cream blushes by Cosmetic Beauty now. They used to be cosmetic brushes, and they're now Cosmetic Beauty. And they came in the Christmas holiday 2024 mystery box, I think it was. Maybe it wasn't a mystery box. I don't remember. But yeah. So I got these, and I don't it's a no for me, dog. So this one is, oh, something has happened to this. This is got chills. Oh, okay, I got a little smudge. I don't know how that happened. Because I've only opened this once. Obviously, this is way, 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 way too light for me. No matter how light-handed I would try to be, that ain't gonna work. And ain't no point in me playing. This is Heroin. And this is pretty. Now that I'm looking at this again, I'm like, no, 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 no. I'm not going to keep it. I'm not going to keep it because I'm not the biggest fan of cream blushes. Yeah, it's a no. No. Color's beautiful. If it was in a different, it's too soft. As I'm opening the packages and I'm looking at the formula, it just seems really buttery soft, and I don't like that. I'm not the huge, like I said, I'm not the biggest fan of cream blushes to begin with, and something that's really soft is definitely a pass for me. So next, LYS in Outgoing. Obviously, I have used this. It's actually not a bad formula. I'm also not the biggest fan of shimmer blushes. This will be absolutely gorgeous as a lipstick, but I am underwhelmed with it as an actual blush. Great formula. I have two other shades that I really enjoy. Um, and I like the stick formula of it, and I want more things in stick formula. Um, but that was just a no for me. Let me wipe this off before I get this all over my table. Okay, moving on. Blush, another blush, blush highlighter, blush lighter from Melt in Pink Moon. Oh, it says highlighter. Okay, whatever. Y'all, well loved. It's old, and if I'm gonna be real honest with y'all, this is not particularly flattering on my skin. I, y'all see that ash? Yeah, yeah. Again, could I make it work? Sure, and have for a couple of years at this point. Um, I'm too old and too tired to keep making things work. I don't like forcing relationships, whether it's relationships with people or relationships with things. So it's gonna be a no for me. Declutter, pass on. Glam Light, this Nightmare on Elm Street triplicate blush. I actually like the formula a lot. Um, as you can see, I've gotten the designs are almost gone from these two. Um, I just don't. There, it's okay. It's fine. It does what it needs to do. This pink really is ultimately too light for me, and I have to mix these two to get a decent shade. Otherwise, this is unusable. This pink. This red is fine, but again, this is not my favorite type of red to use. Um, and then this deeper red, I do enjoy, but I have other deeper reds that I prefer. And if I only like one out of three, I might as well let it go because that don't make no sense to keep that. That's only a third. So that is going. Next up are lipsticks. And this is ColourPop Lippy Sticks, Lippy Stick in Are You Surreal? Hopefully y'all can see that. If not, I apologize. I don't even know if they still make this anymore, honestly. Gorgeous color. It is dry. It is, and I don't know if it's just old or if that's the formulation. I like the container. I love, 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 love the color, but it is dry. It is dry on my hand and it is absolutely dry on my lips. And I can't deal with it. Not with colder weather coming up, which means the air is drier, my lips are drier, my skin is drier, and then I put a dry lipstick on top of that. Nah, dog, it's a no for me. Next up is NYX Suede Matte Lipstick. Y'all, my confession, my makeup confession is I am stuck in 2016 to 2020 makeup. I love the dramatic. I love the overdone. I love the you can look at my face and tell I have makeup on. I'm not a clean girl, aesthetic girly. I'm not a fan. Don't encourage. Not something I want to dabble in. So I say all that to say this suede is probably one of the best lipsticks on the market in terms of colors and color range, but it is the worst in terms. I ain't gonna say the worst. It is the 2018 formula. And I just can't do it. It is too dry. It fits my aesthetic, does not fit how I feel, how I want to feel. And this color is just too damn bright. It like I love it in the package. It looks like clown. It's giving clown when I put it on. And I don't, oops, I don't, I don't know how to salvage this. I've tried it with brown liner. I've tried it with red liner, which it looks okay. Um, but it still don't look great. And I don't have the energy to keep messing with stuff and try to futz around with it. So that's a go. Another NYX matte lipstick is, oh, I didn't tell y'all, this one is called Life's a Beach. Okay. And this one is called Shut the F Up. STFU. Again, gorgeous colors. It reminds me of 90s makeup when we would buy our lipstick from the hair supply store. Love this color. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Again, dry as the Sahara. And I don't know if it's just old, or it's just my needs have changed, but I can't do it. Next is, well, oh, here we go. Clarity Cosmetics, Blow Me. Y'all listen, this is one of my most favorite colors of all times. And it is matte, but this color, y'all, do y'all see this? Listen, I'm probably gonna end up keeping this. I ain't gonna hold y'all. This color, wearing this color, seeing this color brings me joy. Let me stop playing. I'm gonna go ahead and keep this. But it's dry in a very uncomfortable way. And I know I said that I don't want to mess with stuff. I don't want to finesse stuff. I don't want to have to babysit stuff, but I just love that color. And I have yet to find anything else that's even remotely close. So if y'all have a dupe for that, please let me know. And last is Rouge Per Couture lipstick from YSL. And I think the color is 17. I think that's the color. It don't look like that on my lips, y'all. It is much brighter. And when it does dry down, it has kind of a satiny feel and look right now. It does dry down to something a little bit, I'm gonna say semi-matte. The problem is it always leaves my lips crusty once it dries down. I will exfoliate. Listen, I have this liquid exfoliation. This is what I use. Does not help. I use my toothbrush to exfoliate. Does not help. I use a wet face cloth. Does not help. Something about this, once it starts to dry down after a couple of hours of wear, it just looks awful on my lips. And I hate that for me because this lipstick was very expensive. I want to say it was somewhere between $42 and $48. So I am disappointed because I expect better performance and better longevity for something that's so expensive. All right, to the nitty gritty, what everybody usually comes for when it comes to declutters. So Oasis by Clarity. I've had this since it came out. Love the packaging. Absolutely gorgeous. It's just never used because it's very one-dimensional. And I have a blue palette that I much prefer. And some of these colors I suspect will look very, very similar on my eye, to be quite honest. So these two, Teal Me and C Note, you probably can't tell because of the light, but in person, they are very, very similar. These three shimmers, Sapphire, well, I'm going to say Sapphire and Blue Moon, look very similar in the pan. Blue Moon might be a little darker, a smidge, probably not enough to tell on the eyelid. So again, Beautiful and Blew Me Away. Obviously, they're very different colors. One is kind of a gray blue, and the other, this one is kind of a navy. But again, I suspect that if you try to blend out either one of these colors, they're going to end up looking fairly similar. You're going to have to pack these on in order to tell the difference between the two shades on the eyelid. Again, I love Clarity. I love their quality. I love their color stories, but this is just a palette that I should not have bought, and I've been sitting on it a while, debating if I wanted to get rid of it, and it should have been gone a long time ago. Matter of fact, I shouldn't have never bought it. So it will be on my Poshmark page, and that is Oasis by Clarity. Twisted Tea Party by Inslee Rain. When this first came out, I wanted it. I refused to pay full price for it, but I wanted it. I lusted over it so long. And of course, Inslee Rain showed they behinds with their controversy about some posts that they had liked. And I ain't rocked with them earlier this year in 2025, and I ain't rocked with them since. I've used this a couple of times. I've used Mind Meld. I think I might have just swatched Aminata Muscaria, and I think I might have used Hysterical Hatter. But the rest of these haven't been touched. And I'm disappointed. Again, I'm disappointed in myself because I wanted this for so long, for months, and I finally bought it when it went on sale. And this is a very heavily purple palette. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and a half out of 16 shades. I don't like black eyeshadow in my palettes because I don't use it to deepen up. I don't like mustard shades because they either are too close to my skin tone or they make me look sick. Gold, so this is okay. These I haven't used. And these blue colors, I have in other palettes. I have something similar. So I really had no business buying this. I should have just admired it from afar. So here we are. It needs to be on my Poshmark page so I can get rid of it, get out of my house. Yeah. So Inslee Rain, Twisted Tea Party, Earthy by Beauty Bay. First and foremost, Beauty Bay has a banging formula. I wish they would. They during the pandemic, they was cranking out palettes like a dope house. Like, it was amazing. And then they just stopped for the most part. I think they've done maybe one or two this year, maybe. But this palette is gorgeous. There's nothing wrong with it. I just have other green palettes that I like better. And I think I've only used 2 of these colors, say Sabe and Palm. And I think I might have swatched the rest of the shimmers. So yeah, this has to go. The Nomad Monteverde palette. It is an amazing rainbow palette. Good quality. It's a little bit heavier on the greens. Let's see, out of 18 shades, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and a half. Again, the only one that I find underwhelming this yellow. But I feel like yellows are really, really, really hard to pull off, especially on dark skin. Most of them just don't do well. Um, oh, now that I'm looking at this, I might end up keeping it because at one point, at the time I bought this, I had a ton of rainbow palettes, and this was my least favorite out of. I thought it was my least favorite. Um, Funny enough, it is the only one. It is one of two left in my collection. The other one is the Glam Light Rick and Morty palette. Those are the only two rainbow palettes that are left in my collection. So I actually might end up keeping this. So y'all let me know what y'all think about this. I'm gonna sit on that one for a minute and give it some more thought. This is Adept Cosmetics. I don't remember what this is called. It was, I think, oh, Green Arrow. It was named after a TV show or a comic book character. It's a no for me. I, again, had no business buying this. First of all, I think Adept's mattes are not cool. Leave a lot to be desired. Not my favorite. And so that leaves an entire row that I'm not going to use. And I'm not a big shimmer person because they just don't last in the heat and humidity where I live. And so, at beautiful colors, not for me. Adept is not one of my top brands. And so this is something that I'm going to just have to let go because I don't think I've ever used this. I don't even know that I've ever swatched it, which is very unfortunate because it wasn't cheap. Packaging, gorgeous, gorgeous gowns, gorgeous gowns. We almost to the end, y'all. Nomad Royal Europe. I want to thank I am Jamila. I will link her in the comments for introducing me to this palette and to Nomad. I knew of Nomad, but I had never seen any darker skin creators using it until I saw her and found her channel. And when she sang praises about it, I was like, oh, okay. If sis says it's good, then it's good because she's very close to my skin tone. She might be like a shade, a hair darker. And this is what we got. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful colors. These duochromes down here, chef's kiss. There is absolutely nothing wrong with this palette other than the fact that it is red and purple heavy. Like, I don't need all this. I don't use reds or pinks at all, ever. So that leaves this other half of the palette, which is fine, but I already have these colors multiple times over, including the duochromes. So this is very much a dupe palette, and it's not my favorite out of the ones that I do have. So for that reason, it's got to go. But if I was going to recommend Nomad to the dark skinned girlies, to the girlies who want to get into indie but don't want to be overwhelmed with color, Nomad is where it's at. Yes, ma'am. That's it. Down to the last three palettes. Here we go. Avatar, The Last Airbender by, y'all, who did this? Lethal Cosmetics. And this is this the water palette? Maybe? Earth. I don't know, y'all. But here we go. This is way too neutral for me. I'm not a neutral girly. I'm not in my neutral era. Hopefully I never will be. And so I'll never wear this. I think I definitely tried a couple of the colors. The Yip Yip, Ang, and Gatso, I think it was. I think I might have tried several of these. And I'm just meh. I will say that Lethal Cosmetics, they bring the heat when they do IP collabs. They do some of the best in the business. I don't care. Argue with somebody else. But this color story is just not for me. Then the other one, which is Fire from the collection. I'm not taking these out because y'all can go look at the colors online. I'll show you what I can, but they are pressed shimmers. There is some fallout. They're gorgeous. I really thought this was going to be the palette to change my mind. You know what, y'all? Here we go. About wearing reds. No, it is not. I ain't even gonna hold y'all. I don't wear it. I don't care for it. It's not my bag. And I'm just ready to make peace with that. It is neutral leaning warm, and I am a cool tone girly. So again, another palette that I had no business buying, but that's one time where the FOMO and the hype got me for real. And then last but not least, Unearthly Cosmetics, the Grind palette. This is a much older palette. I don't even know if they still offer this anymore. Again, I just knew I was like, this is going to be the palette, y'all. This is going to be the one that brings me over to the warm tone side. Love, the oranges are gorgeous. The colors are gorgeous. This, I just took one look at it when I got this and opened it. Was like, nope, put it back in the box and put it on the shelf. And I'm never gonna wear this, y'all. Like this color, this red, I suspect this is not gonna show up on my skin at all, not without packing it on a bunch, and I'm not in for that level of work. This Hustle, I'm never going to wear that because I don't like reds on my skin. I'm tempted by this because I do like oranges, but again, oranges and yellows tend to not show up on my skin tone. I have to truly pack it on a bunch, and it's just not worth the effort. The rest of the colors are gorgeous, but it's a 9-pan. Do I keep a 9-pan when half the colors I'm not gonna wear? Probably not worth the shelf, taking up the shelf, the space on my shelf. So for that reason, this is going to go. All right, y'all, that's all I got. This video was way longer than I thought it was going to be. And so thank y'all if y'all stayed around until the end. I appreciate y'all patience. And hopefully I will not do another declutter for a long time. So hopefully I've gotten better at making better makeup purchases and selections. But I appreciate y'all staying. If y'all stayed to the end, I thank y'all very much for y'all patience, for being here with me. And hopefully y'all will stick around, and I will see y'all in the next video. Toodles.